Are you tired of wondering why he's not texting or calling like you hoped? Today, I'm sharing the secrets to make him want to reach out every single day. And here is the twist. It all starts with you. Now, I'm 100% behind letting a man take the lead and step up in dating. But here's the thing. It's just as important to make your own luck. And that's why I created this video, how to make them call and text you every single day, how to get a man to like you. Today, we are going to talk about what you can do during those early stages of dating to inspire him to connect with you more often and to keep building that momentum towards something deeper. And here's the thing. One of the biggest challenges that many women face, and I certainly did as well, is believing that if we simply sit back, a man will somehow magically be drawn to us. And while that's true, to a certain extent, if we don't play our part in the beautiful interplay, the dance of energies that happens in the early dating stages, we risk reducing our chances of developing the meaningful connection that we're actually looking for. For divorced women, this is especially true, of course, because after years of marriage, the dating world can seem so confusing and disconnected. And many of my clients have told me that they feel stuck. They're unsure where to let a man lead or to take more initiative themselves. And this video will show you how to strike that perfect balance on how to get any man that you want without ever feeling desperate. Why? Because it takes two to tango, as they say. If he steps forward, offering a gesture to dance, but you're sitting, on the sidelines waiting for your manicure to dry, you might just miss your cue. If you're new here, welcome, a big welcome. I'm Kimberly Anderson. I'm a dating and relationship expert, and I help professional divorced women transform from feeling burned out and exhausted from dating to reignite their radiant energy, rediscover their zest for life, and attract love. No tequila required, but hey, no judgment if it's margarita night, right? And before we dive in, could I ask you a quick favor? It's something that will help other women like you navigating a similar journey. I put my heart into creating this content to support and to inspire you. And if it resonates with you, could you please share it with somebody who could benefit? It's word of mouth referrals like this that help the channel grow and spread the love. And while you're at it, I invite you to hit the subscribe button and the little bell for more free content. Thank you so much. And if you're ready to step into your feminine power and transform your dating journey, don't miss my free ebook on feminine energy. It is a game changer for women like you, and you'll find the link in the comments. So grab your copy now. Okay, so how to get a man to call you, how to get a man to text you? Well, the first principle is mirroring. Now, what does this mean exactly? So picture a couple dancing the salsa or swing or any other partner dance. The man leads the step, right? And that's your cue to take your step in response. Then he moves, then you move. It isn't about giving up your power and it's not about playing a role either, right? It's about creating beautiful harmony. So think about how stunning two dancers look together on a dance floor. A man leads, but he's not dominating, right? And as the woman twirls, he supports her, moving with her in perfect sync. Now, it's the same thing in dating. You want to mirror his behavior. So if he texts you, respond in a way that matches his rhythm, similar timing, similar energy. Right? Just like a dance, it's about creating a seamless flow between the two partners, the two of you. For example, if he takes a couple of hours to reply to your text, take a couple of hours before responding to him. If he replies quickly, aim to do roughly the same, right? This isn't about playing games. It's about creating a natural balance that feels effortless. Because research shows that when we subtly mirror someone, they're more likely to find us approachable, likable, and connected. It's not about responding. It's about creating a rhythm that draws him in and keeps the connection strong. Now, where I've found a lot of women get stuck is overthinking this idea of mirroring. Yes, you want to mirror, right? But it's also equally important to be flexible and to go with the flow when the timing is right. And that means taking initiative to show him that you're interested. Now, this might mean, texting him first sometimes. A good way to do this, I find, is to keep your texts lighthearted and personal, allowing him to feel connected to you. For example, you could say something like, hey, how's your big project at work coming along? I remember you mentioning that the deadline was this week. Or you could say something like, hey, I was thinking of you when I saw someone running in the park today. How's your marathon training going? These types of messages show him that you're interested and invite him to engage with you, and it signals that his actions are working and encourages him to feel an even stronger connection with you. Now, here's the thing. You've got to check yourself, though, in this process, right? So if you're writing paragraphs in every text and all he's sending back are one-word responses, it's time to take a step back. Okay? Be aware of the dynamic and don't overinvest in someone who isn't matching your energy. Trim down your messages and remind yourself to respect your own boundaries. Balance is everything, right? And hey, if you notice that you're constantly driven to over-text, ask yourself why. Could it be linked to, an anxious attachment style like I struggled with in the past? And if so, don't worry, I've got you covered. At the end of this video, you can check out my video on anxious attachment to help you feel more relaxed during this whole process. Okay, now let's talk about tone, which is just as important when it comes to making him want to call and text you every day. Now imagine this, you're at a bar, you're getting a drink, there's a guy standing right next to you, and instead of making eye contact with him, smiling, possibly even saying hi to him, you're just standing there, right, facing forward with a closed off facial expression, waiting on the bartender. Okay, you've noticed him, but you're waiting for him to make the first move. And guess what? He probably has no idea that you're interested in him. Sure, he might still approach you anyway, of course, but if you're giving off zero signs that you're open to communication, he may just take his drink and leave or start talking to somebody else. Now, apply this to texting. If your messages feel closed off or bland, he won't feel inspired to engage with you. But if your tone is warm and inviting, it signals that you're open to connection, and that makes him want to reach out and pursue you. A little playfulness or friendliness in your text goes a long way in showing him that you're fun and that you're approachable. What about you? Do you have any tips on how to get a man to like you, to text, and to call you? Or mistakes that you've made? Share it in the comments so other women can learn from your experience and hear your thoughts. And I would absolutely love to hear from you. I always read the comments. And while we're at it, here is a gentle reminder to share this video with somebody who could benefit and to consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you so much. And this leads me to something that trips up a lot of women with texting. I mean, it can be really tricky to navigate because messages are so easily misinterpreted. If he says something and you immediately jump to conclusions and react defensively, you might unintentionally shut down the conversation completely. Here's the thing. Most men don't want to dive into long, detailed discussions to talk things through, especially with somebody that they're still getting to know. If you come across as defensive or abrupt, chances are he will just go quiet. But here is the good part. This is actually a great opportunity to build an incredible skill that will serve you not just in dating, but in your relationships overall. And that is handling misunderstandings. The key here is to learn to pause, to breathe, and approach things calmly so that you keep communications open and you keep communications flowing even when things feel a little bit off. Let me share a quick example from one of my own experiences. I was messaging this guy, and in one of his photos, it looked like he was wearing a wedding ring. So naturally, I asked him about it. I let him know that it was something that I needed to ask because I wasn't looking to date someone who was married. Well, his response told me everything I needed to know. He got super defensive, saying that he'd send me his divorce papers and asking how dare I judge him for wearing a ring, that it wasn't a wedding ring. And here, it wasn't about what he said, it was about how he said it. And his reaction showed me exactly how he handles conflict or misunderstandings. And for me, it was a clear sign to move on. But here's the question. What about when a man asks us something legitimate? How are we responding? Are we answering from a calm, centered place, or are we triggered? Are we letting our defensiveness take over the conversation and shut things down, in a really defensive, negative way? I have learned that the more we pay attention to our own reactions, the better we get at understanding ourselves. It's really a huge opportunity to heal our wounds, to improve how we communicate, and ultimately to show up as our best selves in any relationship. Many times we're not even aware of how we come across, right? That's why it's so important to pay attention to how you handle misunderstandings, because the way that you approach misunderstandings can make or can break whether he continues to want to call, to text, and to move the relationship forward. And finally, let's talk about rejection. I know how painful rejection can be. I have been there more times than I'd like to admit, but here is the thing. Rejection is an actual opportunity in disguise. It's a chance to reflect on oneself, to reaffirm your values, to redefine what you're looking for in a partner, and to even get clearer on what truly aligns with you. If you've enjoyed this video and want to dive deeper into anxious attachment, like I mentioned earlier, don't miss this video over here on how I went from anxious attachment to secure and how you can too. And a sincere thanks for watching until the end. And as always, I am sending you lots of love.